Unique Noise presents Who Are You?, where we interview you and get to know you on a deeper level with your host, Joel and
Sam.
This time around, we have no guests, and we will be talking about just what's going on about stuff and things.
Just catching up.
Catching up. We haven't done these in a while. We did do some philosophy this time around, and speaking of, we'll use that as one of our quotes as well from the good philosopher Plato. Not the one you use as kids, but
the putty. Right? Is it putty?
It's
hard
putty,
to describe Plato without using the word Plato.
Yeah. It's putty though. Okay, I think Plato's the brand name.
Yeah.
Or it could just be dough, because it's play dough. Who knows? That could be another philosophy thing that we discuss next time. Anywho, the quote goes, "The measure of a man is what he does with power."
Plato is a modeling compound primarily made of flour, water, and salt.
So yeah, it's dough.
Used by children for arts and crafts.
It's dough. Flour and water.
Yeah. Which is why it's probably safe for them to eat, but they probably shouldn't eat them.
No.
What's up, Joel?
Hi. My name is Joel.
Yeah, we're solo in the I don't know if we can call this a studio. Yeah. We're not interviewing anybody today.
Except
Why
each other again.
Yeah. Why is that? Because I don't have enough friends, I think. I don't know anybody. No, I've been really bad about reaching out to people again.
You've also deleted a lot of numbers from what I recall when I was going through the list of people we both know.
Yes. Yes. I do that from time to time. And it's nothing personal. It's like a cleanse sort of thing. Because I think at the root of it, it makes me sad. So I'll see like people we used to work with on there, and I'm like, oh, I haven't talked to them for like 3 years now. And I'm like, I kind of don't want to see their name again on my phone because it's bumming me out. But I'm going to use this as an opportunity to reach out to more people. So I'll do that once we're done recording. And utilize social media like Instagram and Facebook and stuff and see who's willing to talk to us.
Great.
Another humbling experience awaits me, which is fantastic. That's why I bought drinks today.
Bought drinks?
Yeah. I haven't been drinking.
About Coronas?
No, the June shines. But yeah, I haven't been drinking since I don't know, it was like a week and a half I took off. And then today I was getting really, I guess, a little stressed and a little anxious about reaching out to people again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't like to be dependent on anything, but I'm going to get drinks. And I'm going to...
You need liquid courage.
Yes. 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 Just enough to where I can shut off that, like, well, what if they don't respond? What if they don't want to talk to you? I just need to shut that voice off for a little bit so I can just send the message. The message is already compiled. All I have to do is put their name in it.
Make sure it's their name.
Yeah. Well, I only did that to one person, but it was the same name. It was just the wrong person.
It's like the wrong last name.
Yeah.
But we don't put last names.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was a happy accident. Cool. All right. So, wait, who are you? Are we? Am I hosting or are you hosting?
Wherever you want, sir.
Or are we like kind of just cowboy bebop in it?
Sure. I mean, I don't know what that means, but
Just
go ahead.
cowboying it, like winging it.
I've never heard it used as a phrase.
Yeah. Well, I haven't. I've never even seen the show. It's just another word to tack on the back of cowboy, because cowboying it doesn't sound as good as cowboy bebopping it. Just saying. Maybe people should be saying that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's start off with, I don't know. This is going to be a loose episode, I think.
Yeah, probably very loose.
Yeah. And, well, I hope we use it. But if we don't, then it'll be a trial run of, like, what the fuck do we do now that we've interviewed people?
Nah, we should still use it.
So let's do the... Where should we begin? Cards.
Oh, the ones that were previously part of the bowl.
Yes, we're going to use those at the beginning of an episode now because the card game is literally called Where Should We Begin? Which is a great way, I think, to start off conversations because sometimes we don't really know where to begin, which is why we've just been recording as soon as somebody gets here. So that you're going to ask me that question, and I'm going to ask you this question?
Sure.
Okay.
And this is where we begin.
Yes.
All right. I got, when it comes to work, I'm most proud of.
Okay, and before I answer, because aren't all of these questions kind of like first person?
They are.
So, like, should we be asking each other, or should we be asked, like, reading the
So
card
reading
off,
and then I respond this one? Is that what you mean?
That's what I'm asking. What do you think?
I mean, I guess. So then we just have them, I guess, from the next host or the next guests. They'll be reading the card themselves?
No, I guess it doesn't matter. Because just because it's an I statement, it's like, well, this question's for you. So, okay, sorry. Again. Once more, good sir. Will you read the question?
All right, I got, when it comes to work, I'm most proud of... ...
I would say I'm most proud of my organizational skills at work. They definitely have benefits. So I feel like I tend to forget things a lot. But I stay very organized at work, which is why like our setup here for the podcast is the way that it is too, because I don't remember anything. Like I don't remember shit that we were talking about on Saturday. Like sort of here and there, but like day to day I feel like my brain just wipes information away. So writing stuff down and cataloging things and just having a system in place I think helps a lot. That would be what I'm most proud of.
Yeah, I mean, can attest to that. You are very well organized.
Thank you.
I'm more on the chaotic side.
Well, so am I, though. Like, if I didn't have the spreadsheets, we'd be, like, all over the place, or we'd have a bunch of scrap pieces of paper written down.
Yeah, but I would remember most of it.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm on the chaotic side work-wise because I don't have that I forgot kind of thing. I have it rarely, but not as often as most people have it. And usually it's because I think it was when we were interviewing your mom. I had said I write stuff down, or that's how I learn more is by writing stuff down. Or I think it was Alex actually.
Yeah, I think so.
A blend of the two. Anyway, the way I learn more is by writing it down, or how I learn quickly, because as soon as I write it down, it's now ingrained in me. Like that's what I wrote down. It was the same when like I was collecting numbers or on spreadsheets. Like I would see the number, memorize it, and then every time you guys would ask me like, how many do we have left? I wouldn't have to go back to the spreadsheet. I'm like, it's roughly around this number.
Yeah.
And I was always spot on.
Yeah, I don't like giving up my brain space for that kind of stuff. But more power to you.
Yeah.
All right, so these aren't questions. You're fill in the blank. Where should we begin with Joel? I don't know how to preface these. So
just read it.
Your card. The weirdest party I've been to. ...
The weirdest party I've been to would have to be... Oh, you know what? Technically it's a party, but it was the company party for Christmas at RDI.
Which one?
It was like at a golf course. I don't remember where it was exactly.
Oh, Top Golf?
No, RDI,
Oh.
not E-Cube.
Oh.
It was with the brothers when they were in charge. They had it out by like past Pomona, probably like near. Was it Baldwin Park or somewhere around that area? That was a golf course. I don't know exactly, but
I'm going to guess just off the top of my head that I didn't go.
probably not.
Yeah.
But I ended up winning a gift card. Starbucks, my favorite kinds, because I can give those away.
That was like the only thing they did. They're like, oh, everybody likes Starbucks. And it's like, no, they don't, actually. I'm like, In-N-Out gift cards are far more valuable.
Yeah. In-N-Out.
Because $5 at In-N-Out, it's like, you can actually get some food for that.
Any grocery
Yeah.
ones, if they wanted to go like $20, $10.
They were
Because I
never
think
gonna
they
do
were,
it.
yeah, because they
It
were
was
always
always
$5,
Yeah,
right?
It was
Yeah.
always $5. It was always $5, and then I think one year we got, I think it was like $50 gift cards at like restaurants, like a bunch of random restaurants. They had $50 gift cards, and people were like, "Oh my god!"
It's like, are you sure?
Yeah, and you're like, "No, this kind of thing's actually normal." And in most companies, they'll give you more than 50.
Yeah.
For the year.
Well, I mean, they also had a raffle, right, for like higher valued gift cards.
I think so, yeah, something like that. Moving on. Okay. Hobby, interest, passion, fun fact.
Yeah. Totally forgot to think of something. So, we'll go with... Oh, actually, fun fact that everyone should already know, I play video games. The latest one I'm playing is a very good fun fact. It's about horse girls racing on a horse racetrack.
What's it called?
The game is called Umamusume Pretty Derby. It's very popular in Japan. It was somewhat popular over here when it started, like an anime. And a good amount of people globally were waiting for the global release. And it took them about 4 years to do that. So everyone else is technically 4 years behind the Japanese servers and 3 years behind the rest. Not the rest of Asia, but I think they released it like it wasn't Chinese, but it was Chinese adjacent. So like Taiwan or something like that. We're on a kind of like a accelerated schedule from the normal one. So the hope is it catches up soonish.
Gotcha.
Hopefully within 2 years. Because I think they're going roughly like 25% faster.
Oh, okay. So they are trying to get you guys all on the same level at some point in time.
Yeah, all their events some are even overlapping with each other. Whereas, like in the Japanese servers, they had them kind of you would have like a week or two of like nothing to do until the next event came on.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this one, there's a few events that are overlapping. So hopefully soonish.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a pretty fun game. And like I said, it's very popular in Japan. Enough to where it kind of grossed roughly, I don't want to be wrong on the number, but I want to say 2.5 billion.
I mean, even if it was 1 billion.
Yeah, it's either, no, I mean, it's either billion or million.
Even if it was 1 million, that's a lot for like a mobile game, right?
Yeah, especially like just in Japan alone.
Right. Yeah, there's not that. I mean, there's a lot of people there, but there's not that many people there.
Yeah.
In comparison, I guess.
But yeah, that's the current game I'm playing, or at least I'm really hyper focused on. So
I'm happy for you.
What about you, sir?
Before I answer, I think I've figured out our hosting debacle.
Yeah, nice.
So we'll just switch between segments.
Okay. I mean, technically, we just did that without knowing.
Yeah. Well, how?
Because on the icebreaker, I asked you first, and then you asked me, and then on this one, I went first.
Perfect. Look at us accidentally being cool. So I'm going to share a fun fact that I don't know. I don't know if it will actually provide any context for anybody. I was editing an episode today where I talked about one of the podcasts that I listen to. So I figured I'd just share all of them, or all of the ones that I'm like dialed in, tuned to, you know, kind of, I guess, more avidly following. So Armchair Experts, a big one for me. Flightless Bird is a really good one. If anybody hasn't heard that one, Flightless Bird is great. Bad Friends is one of my favorites as well.
I get those on my reels a lot for Instagram.
What, Bad Friends?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're funny. One Life, One Chance with Toby Morse. That's a good one. He interviews a lot of musicians and people in that industry, which is really nice. And then the last one I'll bring up is Dungeons and Daddies, which is a D&D podcast. Very funny. Very enjoyable. That's it.
Nice.
I should probably have more, but
Why?
honestly, I don't know. Like, because... So... What usually happens is I listen to Armchair Expert until I'm caught up.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I'm caught up, I branch off to other things. Or my brother and I will listen to Dungeons and Daddies. So that's cool. We haven't been listening, but we do sometimes.
Well,
and I guess on that line, I do also listen to Conan O'Brien's podcast and Daniel Tosh's podcast, because my brother will play those.
I have heard the first episode of Daniel Tosh.
It's pretty good.
No, yeah, it's very interesting. I just don't listen to podcasts often.
Yeah.
But I follow him on Instagram, so every now and again I'll get the reels for it. So I'll get the snippets of who's he talking with and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's very him. His humor is, I feel like, across the board, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It was the same way on his show, and now on his podcast, he's just talking to random people now, though.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me feel good about what we're doing. Like, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to be interviewing famous people for it to be funny or for it to be enjoyable.
No, yeah. Although we would be glad to have you.
Of course. I just hope that we would have a different place for them to be.
Nah, this is fine.
This is all right. Or at least I would want to have, I guess, like the dividers and stuff up to make it at least look cleaner behind everybody. But It's not a
They
big
won't
deal.
see them.
No, they'll see the ones behind us, and then we'll see the one behind them. So basically, I wanted like a U.
Oh, you mean like the guest will see?
Yeah.
Because I'm like the viewers won't, or the listeners won't see.
No. The viewers can't see anything. We don't have cameras.
Well, they're not viewers; they're listeners.
That's true.
That's why I corrected myself. Sir, now we move on to le growth. Unless you have another trauma or bad thing that happened.
Not that I feel the need to bring up at this time. I have been wanting to do that with my therapist, though, where I'm like, I want to dive deeper into, I guess, why I act the way that I do or why I react the way that I do to certain things. Because I don't have answers. But I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. I'm going to talk to her tomorrow.
I mean, like how you were just describing earlier before we started recording. You react differently to like death than most other.
Yeah, I guess that too. Like I don't feel. I don't know. I don't know if this is the right section of the podcast for this.
We don't have a section for this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel disconnected most of the time, I think. Which is why I try to go out of my way to seek connections. Because I'm like, I already feel disconnected. And if I'm actually disconnected from everybody, then I'm like, well, fuck. Like, what am I doing here?
Right.
Because I feel like that's kind of what the purpose of life is, to make connections and to grow and learn and experience and things like that. And if you're not doing any of those things, then what are we doing? Okay, but anyway, growth. In terms of growth. Yeah, I'm also not prepared for today. I don't know if this is growth or just like a random update. I'll let you
I mean,
be
the
judge.
update is part of growth if you let it be, right?
Yeah. So I discovered recently, and not that I wasn't necessarily worried about it, but it was something kind of floating around in the back of my mind because I've had a couple people talk to me about it. And granted, those situations where I was being talked to about it were a little heated. So I don't know if they were saying that because they actually thought that or if they were just trying to be hurtful. But I found out that I'm apparently not an addict, which was a great feeling.
You're not an addict?
I'm not.
What did you think you were addicted to?
I mean, an addict is an addict. You'd be addicted to anything. Your brain can make you addicted to anything, right?
Right, but what did you think you were addicted to?
Oh, I was worried about alcohol.
Oh, okay.
So alcohol specifically, I've had a few people in my life try to tell me that I was an alcoholic.
Oh, I say that to everyone that drinks alcohol.
Right. No, but in a more, you have a problem, you're an alcoholic kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you're not a doctor, and I don't need it. And if I don't have it, I don't feel like I can't, like, process or exist. Right. So I recently took like a week and a half off on purpose because I found myself in a cycle where I was just drinking, but there wasn't a reason.
I mean, you don't need a reason to drink.
No, but it was more of like like, why am I doing that? And then from that, I just kind of made this conscious decision because I was coming home from work and I usually grab something, like if I don't have anything here, I'll grab something on the way home.
Yeah.
And I made a very conscious decision to go to the store and I bought a bunch of water instead, like seltzer waters, right? So then I burned through those, and then I have a soda stream, so I was just drinking carbonated water. And through that process, I re-remembered or rediscovered or discovered for the first time, I'm not really sure. I was like, oh, it has nothing to do with the alcohol, really. I like fizzy drinks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and apparently, if there's no alcohol in it, I don't give a shit. I just want fizzy drinks. Because I've been drinking...
Fizzy water.
That's like 32 ounces, and I've just been burning through bottles of that. So I've been super hydrated, and yeah, it's been cool. But through that process, I learned, I was like, oh, so I'm not dependent on this shit. Like, I'm not dependent on alcohol.
No, you're dependent on fizzy.
Yeah, apparently. And I'm like, oh, that's a great realization or whatever, because I don't know. I feel like I hear a lot of addicts talk about their inner dialogue and stuff, and I relate to a lot of it.
Well, yeah, because you were with Alcohol Anonymous for a while, huh?
No. No.
No, I know. You were going to something else.
Yeah, it was a court-ordered classes for a DUI that had more to do with texting and driving than drinking. Because I had drinks like earlier that day, and like I took a nap and I woke up and I was like, oh, I should get home. And I was texting as I was driving, and I crashed into another car. But it wasn't because I was like, oh, no, I'm so drunk still. It was just like, no, I still had alcohol in my system, so they got me with a DUI, but it was a texting and driving accident. Like 100%. Because if I wasn't looking at my phone, I would have just drove right by the car.
Don't text and drive.
Yeah, don't text and drive, and also don't drink and drive. It's probably not a good idea either. Does that count as growth?
Yeah.
I guess discovering that you're not an alcoholic?
Yeah, you grew with the knowledge, and now you've kind of shed off some of that worriedness maybe that you had, or if you had any.
Yeah, because I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound like I'm an alcoholic. I can stop anytime. I can stop anytime I want to. But apparently, I actually can stop anytime I want to, and not feel like, oh, I need to do something about that. I just do something else. And literally any other activity can be replaced with that. For me, for my experience. So, I don't know, I guess that's growth. Learning things about myself. Yay.
Hooray.
I did a good thing. What about you, sir?
Well,
let's talk about growth.
I mean, I'll let you be the decider of my growth. This is more or less to do with I have now taken a step further into financial security. And we've talked about this before, where I just started a high yield savings account. After preaching it for so long to my family members, I finally started one. And it was more or less to do with, well, first off, when I wanted to start it was when I got laid off. So I'm like, all right, I can't start it. Mm-hmm. And now that I've landed I wouldn't say it's a stable, well, it's stable. It's just, there are times where you don't have the job.
It's seasonal.
Yeah.
But it's continual seasonal.
Yeah.
You just don't work a couple of days or a couple of months out of the year.
Right. Yeah. Now that I have that, I'm like, okay, we'll get some money aside and we'll start saving. And part of the process was also trying to find out which banking company to go with. And that was a little bit more difficult to find because the one I did want ended up not accepting me. I don't remember why. I just know I started filling out the whole process and stuff of filling out the paperwork, and they let me know that you can't start it or something. I'm like, all right, whatever. So then I'm like, oh, which one was it? It was SoFi, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Stepped away for a bit and then started looking elsewhere. And I started with, I forgot the name of it. There's a tree involved in the logo. Something oak, I want to say.
Trusty oak.
Probably.
That's not a real thing.
No, I think that might actually be it. Well, not trustee, but trust oak.
Oh.
That might not, that has a tone that it could be it, but I know it's something oak. And so far, like I said, just started it this month. So hopefully with the next few months, especially when I start work, I can start putting in more money in it and let it snowball. But yeah, the part of my growth was actually finally taking my own advice.
I would say that that classifies as growth. Did you look into Capital One?
Yes, but it was another one of the, and I have Capital One as like credit, so it probably wouldn't have been an issue to start one. But I think it was lower percentage.
Oh, gotcha.
Because this one's a 4.1. It might be the same as Capital One, but
I don't remember what mine is.
yeah.
I just remember it was higher than my bank's.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was like, I don't really care what it is.
And then I'm doing a bit of shifting in my stocks from one certain ETFs to other types where they're paying out quarterly. Because the one I have right now, an abundance of in the stock, is one that pays out monthly dividends, which is good if you want to see that monthly gain. And it's a decent amount, but the only thing that's not good is there's no growth. So it's stagnant in the amount that it costs always. So it's not, your money's not growing. You're just gaining money monthly for your contribution. So it's technically almost like a high yield savings account. Because technically your high yield savings account, your money's not growing with it. It's just you're gaining interest from that money.
Right.
Same thing with that ETF stock that gives monthly dividends, is the money is not growing. It's fluctuating, but it's staying around within the $1 or $2 range. And you're just getting interest. I think it's at a 1% interest back every month. So technically it's a lot more than the high yield savings accounts. But yeah, that's also another thing I started doing, was just shifting around how I'm working my money. But again,
And you were worried that this wasn't going to be a growth topic. You said growth like 18 times, Joel.
yeah, my money growth.
Yeah. Growth is growth, man.
Yeah.
It can be anywhere. Time travel exists.
Does it?
It does.
Pretty sure.
Yep.
Positive.
I mean, we've done... What episode is this?
22.
22? We've done like 22 to 30 fucking episodes. But yeah, it exists. We're doing this. Where are you going? And why? And when? And how? No, we already know how.
So we're traveling to 1924. And we're just going to be following a group of individuals who are working together to fly around the world.
The Wright brothers?
No.
No?
It was, they didn't fly around the world. They just flew.
Fucking know. I didn't go to aviation school. So who are we watching here?
We are watching 8 men from the U.S. Army Air Service. And let's see. See, I didn't know who actually went around the world, because I was thinking technically the first lady to do it. But I think she just flew across the Atlantic.
Amelia Earhart?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
But these guys went around the world.
Well, Jackie Chan did it in 80 days.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like it was. Yeah, it just says 8 U.S. Army airmen. I don't see names. I do see a photo. Yeah, it just says it's a team of aviators. The journey took 175 days.
So I
Oh,
imagine
and I
they're
guess
just
it
kind of
was-
flying around and stopping and flying around.
Yeah, it looks like it's flying around stopping because it also looks like they were changing planes, so it wasn't with the same plane.
Oh, okay. But it's still, was that the first time that it happened?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm assuming it doesn't say where it ended, so I'm assuming it ended where it began, which was in Seattle, Washington. And it had 28 countries, or they stopped at 28 countries.
Mm. Okay.
But yeah, just go around with them at 2 times speed, maybe more. I think 2 times speed, I'd be there watching them for about math, a little under 90 days.
Yeah, I mean, even that sounds like that's 3 months.
That's 3 months of watching.
And they're not doing it. They're just
flying.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll make it to where if there's any interesting conversations that they had, it would slow down and just speed up again when the conversation's done.
That sounds about right. So were all 8 of them in the plane at a time?
I would assume so.
Or was it-
actually, you know what? It might not be changed planes because this makes more sense because co-pilots exist. It was 8 members and 4 planes, so 2 per plane.
Okay. Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why would you need more than one plane?
I would assume they did it for safety reasons
Okay.
because they had 2 mechanics with them also. That sounds
about
part of the 8 were 2 mechanics in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it says with 2 pilots and the mechanic in each of the 4 aircrafts. Yeah. Let's see, what is that? Oh, it doesn't give a date start, but it ended
Well, you're gonna
in
have
September.
you're gonna have to actually do this so you can tell us what actually happened.
Yeah.
Because it seems like there's not a ton of information about it either.
Yeah, they don't even have their names. Or at least that's what I'm not seeing on this thing. I might have to read more into it, but the quick notes of it doesn't give names. It just says they were part of the U.S. Air Service. Or U.S. Army Air Service, because maybe the Air Force wasn't available yet during that time. It's also interesting. I want to see when the Air Force actually started then.
It's a good thing we don't do fact checks on this.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot of facts there.
So many. Yeah, what about you, Sam? Where are you going?
I thought about this a lot while you were searching your thing. And I ended with, I want to go to the future to see when we leave Earth.
It's next year.
Okay, but like, what planet?
Mars.
Is that? Stop it. So I would like to see that. So however long that is in the future, I think it'd be interesting to see like any colonies, whether that's like on a spacecraft colony or terraforming on other planets and stuff like that. That would be interesting.
Okay, so first, Just a first colonization.
Yeah.
No matter if it be like in space.
Both.
Or.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. I would like to see what life would be like on a floating fucking colony, right? And then also landing on a planet and stuff like that. I think that would be interesting.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts on how it might go?
Poorly. For the first ones?
For the first ones?
Poorly. I think it'll go poorly.
I think it'd be like no, I forgot the name of it, and I would have to fact check it, but the one that comes to mind is over at the East Coast when when a whole town disappeared.
I don't know about that.
No?
No.
I got taught that in school. I just don't remember the name of it.
Oh, then maybe I was taught it in school too. I just don't know. Or I wasn't paying attention, or I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a whole colony that just up and disappeared.
Interesting.
Which might be my next trip.
Oh, I just watched Don't Look Up for the first time.
Oh.
That movie came out in 2021,
Yeah.
like right on the tail, or like right mid pandemic and stuff, right? So it was it felt very like COVID movie to me. But at the end of the movie, like all these rich, like the corrupt president and all these other rich people go to like end up on a different planet, like however many years in the future. And like the first thing that happens is like one of them, like the president gets eaten.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, that seems about right. Like, because I feel like humans can be so arrogant.
Oh, yeah.
So it's, we're on this new planet that we have claimed, even though there's stuff living here already. And we're not going to try to live around what's already here. It's just like, oh, well, we're here now, so let us kind of dominate.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't imagine that going well for a while.
It always goes well, Sam.
Eventually.
We carry diseases with us.
Yeah, eventually. But day one on that new planet, I just don't feel like would go very well. And I think being in space in a confined environment with a bunch of people, I also don't think it's going to go very well.
True.
So more of just like, I want to see the social experiments happen, and I don't know. That would be interesting.
Nice. Well, I found also The Lost Colony while you were talking about that. And it was, I'm going to get the pronunciation wrong, but Roanoke Colony. And I guess present day, it was North Carolina. Or around the coast of North Carolina. They ended up just disappearing. So that's where I would probably go next if I get a chance to time travel again. All right. Can move on to our next segment, which normally would be my bowl.
What's it today?
Today, we are turning into PhilosoRaptors and discussing a good philosophy.
I did write that down. It's canon. Hit me with it.
I thought you had also looked up what we were going to discuss, but I will do that, I guess.
It's your thing.
That's fine. That's what I said. I'll do that, I guess.
Your bowl, your PhilosoRaptor. I mean, I do have stuff pulled up, but I thought we were going to do your... I thought we were using AI for that.
Yeah, I'm using it right now.
Okay.
If you could know the exact date and time of your death, would you choose to know it? And for why?
No. Well, I guess maybe we should both say a yes and a no or a yes and a no answer, and then we can see if there's anything to take from that or anywhere else to go from that. So no, I would not like to know because I'm already pretty anxious as a person. And I think knowing that would make me more anxious. And then on the flip side, if I did know, then I feel like I would be able to plan better. And I feel like I would probably take more risks knowing this is not how I die. I already know how I die, and that's coming at this time, so I can do... I don't know, I feel like I could do...
Skydiving.
Yeah, like riskier things where I'm like, oh, well, the possibility of death is 50% for this activity that I want to do. But I know it's not going to get me because I know how I die. But then tampering with fate like that, I don't know. Like,
that's where the philosophy comes in. Because again, you said no because it would give you anxiety, but now you're saying yes, but it won't give you anxiety for that part?
well, yeah, both. It's complicated. That's philosophy for you, right? So
Right.
I know it would make me more anxious because I would be expecting this thing to come, and it would... Like, I feel like it's dependent on the date and how.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's something gruesome,
Well,
and
let's
if it's
say
soon,
you know the date and you decide to take more risks. Wouldn't the date then change?
that's what I'm saying. Will it? Are things
Because
cemented?
it's giving you a date for if you go about your day the same way, with the same risks that you would normally have taken, this is when you would die.
Right.
But now that you know that you're dying that date, you now decide to take more risks,
Right.
or even possibly even greater risks. So your date should theoretically also change.
Well, even knowing the date could change it. Theoretically speaking, like if you know when you're gonna die,
Not necessarily, because again, if you don't change anything of how you live, let's say I know the day I'm going to die, which I would want to know.
okay,
Because again, it would make me plan out stuff a little bit more sooner, or like, I'm like, okay, I know when I'm going to die, so let's get stuff ready.
right,
And even like if I procrastinate and be like, okay, we don't need stuff ready now, and then I know the date's coming sooner, then I'm like, okay, let's get stuff planning. I would not change the risk I would normally take. I would still just live my life as I normally would.
right,
Because again, in my thought is, if I take more risks or higher risks, my chances of living that is still the same chance.
right.
The chances don't
yeah.
change. It's the...
Yeah, by changing your lifestyle, you're fundamentally kind of changing who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for
Which in turn would change when you might die.
right, and for like I'm making two different answers for argument's sake.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And again, it fleshes out this conversation a little bit more, and it makes it more interesting. One where it's like, now I don't have to really say what we're doing. We're just discussing it now.
Yeah. Yeah, because I flat out, I wouldn't want to know. I'd rather continue living my life in a way that, like, I'm pleased with today, I'm pleased with the next day, and I'm doing what I can in the day, each day, to make sure that I'm somewhat fulfilled, and I could die like that. I'm okay with that. But I think...
Well, I mean, from here, you don't, from at least the question, you only know the exact date and time. You don't know how.
Not how?
Not how.
Okay. Like, really, though, it would make me anxious because it's always coming. And then I feel like I tend to get into, like, negative thought patterns easily.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like, oh, I didn't do enough today. And, like, oh, my God, now I only have 59 days left. Like, I feel like every day of my life leading up to my death would be filled with these, like, oh, my God, I should have done more stuff today. Like, I should have, like, oh, I have this thing that I want to finish. And, I didn't do enough work on it.
Yeah, I feel like I would probably... The anxiety would hit more if I knew the date and time was soon.
Yeah.
Like, let's say next year. Then I would feel very anxious, like, oh, I don't have enough time. But if I know that it's further in my life where I'm old, I'm like, all right, I should already have done enough. And by the time it gets there, I'm like, even if I do have more to do, I'm like, I'm already old. I lived my life. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, see, that's what I like about these questions. Because you're like, oh, well, it's pretty easy, yes or no. But then you start throwing in the variables and you're like, oh, shit. Like, no, maybe it is better to know. Because then you can plan and stuff. But then not knowing is also,
it's the gambling of when is your date and time.
Yeah.
Because if it's really early, then you'll probably be anxious.
Right.
If it's really later on in life and you know you're going to live to be an old person, old man, then you're a little bit more comfortable in what you're doing in life.
I mean, moral of the story is like make the most of your life now, because you never know.
Yeah.
Like, you never know. I could get into a car accident tomorrow. I don't fucking know. I don't control everybody else on the road.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah. And I've been in many near collisions with people who just weren't looking while they tried to merge over into my car.
Which is why I like Teslas, because they brake.
Yeah.
Last night, I was taking my cousin to work, and I was heading off luckily it was a stop signs. I'm like, I stopped first, so I was about to go, and then the other one was a Tesla, and they're like, and then it stopped.
That's funny. I think that was enough of a conversation, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go. Do you play cards?
I mean, I guess. What kind of cards?
I just did this again. Episode I edited today. How he answered too. All right. Joel, first question. How would you describe your temper?
I would describe it as explosive.
How the fuck could you ask me that?
Yeah. It's very explosive.
When it gets there.
When it gets there.
Yeah.
I'm very patient, but that's why it's explosive, because when it's there, it's there.
I can see that.
Which is why sometimes I play very difficult games, so I can somewhat let it out at the games. Like, I know it's me that's doing something wrong, but I'll yell at the game.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that is actually helpful.
All right. Have you ever been in a physical altercation? What happened?
I grew up with 3 brothers. Yes. Yes. If I was lucky, I was throwing in some blows as well, but for the most part, it was just there's 2 people bigger than me beat me up within reason. Like, I never got a black eye or anything. Still hurts.
Was it face?
No.
No, you wouldn't
have body blows and stuff.
You make sure you hide it.
Yeah, no. Once I got kicked so hard in the dick, it made me bleed.
Ugh.
Yeah, that wasn't cool.
Nah, I don't think I ever did that.
Now, anytime you have blood coming out of like your genitals or your ass, you're like, okay, this isn't cool anymore.
I think I don't even want to say it was the worst thing, but probably the most damaging thing I've done was spear my cousin while we were playing football.
Like, you threw a spear at him?
Yeah. My body as a spear.
Yeah, I understood.
I just dove right in. He came crashing into my shoulder, and it folded him in half, and he was having the difficult time breathing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was any other times where like I actually got into. I just feel like growing up, like it wouldn't have been fun for anybody to fight with me. I was so little.
Mm-hmm.
It's like beating up a little kid, like when you're in school. So it's like, what's the point? Like no one can be. And I wasn't like the type of person to bother other people or to get in anybody's way. So it's like, if you're beating me up at school, or if we're in a fight, it's like there's no fucking way anyone's rooting for you, dude.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you look like you're beating up some little kid.
There was one time I may have gotten it or would have gotten into a fight because someone was challenging me to one. But I guess it was a whole kids thing because I met him up later in like high school because this was during middle school. I met him up in high school and asked him like, hey, why the fuck were you mad at me? Because we used to be friends. Mm-hmm. And then sometime in middle school, I guess someone had started a rumor saying that I had said that he had copied my name or something. I don't know, like just talking shit, I guess.
Yeah.
And he believed them and straight wanted to fight me afterwards. I'm like, dude, why do you want to? I didn't even know why he wanted to fight me then.
Problems at home?
Probably not. I've been to his house. His parents are fine. Nah, it was like I said, because when I talked to him later in high school, he said someone was saying that I was talking shit about him. I'm like, I wasn't talking shit about you. But all in all, it ended well. I went to my dad, talked to him. He knew someone that did boxing, so I learned a little bit of boxing out of it. And yeah, just good times.
All right, next question. If your temper was a person, who would it look like?
If it was a person? So I would have to describe it as like a name, like describe the person or give a name, I guess.
Yeah, a person in existence. Like, who would it be?
Okay.
That's not exactly what the question says, but I feel like that's going to be the easiest way.
To
do it.
Vin Diesel.
Young
it's about
Vin Diesel?
family.
Young Vin Diesel or old or like today Vin Diesel?
Say young.
Okay. I'm gonna have us take pictures of each other. I just wanted to check the lighting.
For sure. But yeah, if anything, Vin Diesel is as part of like Fast and Furious.
Okay.
And it temper is explosive, but very much patience. But the patience wears thinner and thinner if it's has closer to do with anything family related.
So like all of his characters in all of his movies. So like the Iron Giant and Groot as well.
True. All right, sir. Yours is: when was the last time you got into an argument? What happened?
Saturday. I was in a 3-way argument and I was losing.
Very poorly, I might add.
Yeah, we were talking about not being greeted at the counter, like at a grocery or at the checkout at grocery stores, and how that's rude. However, in the example that was, well, one, it was unfair because 2 people were telling me that I was wrong or not wrong, but saying
not
that
wrong,
it was the
but
same
we were
situation.
similar. Yeah.
Yes, it was the same situation, which I disagree to still. Because in one scenario, there are people who work there who are ignoring their customers talking to each other, and the other one is the person who works there is talking to a customer, which is actually still doing their job. Now, if they don't talk to the customer behind the current customer that they're with, that's shitty. But again, in the scenario that I was talking about, there were 3 employees at the checkout, and all 3 of them were talking to each other and did not acknowledge their customers at all.
Which is also shitty.
Yes. No, both. Yes.
That's what we were trying to get at.
Yes. In both scenarios, they're shitty. I'm saying I'm okay with the one where if I'm not greeted because the cashier is still talking to another customer, they're doing their job still. If they're all talking to each other, they're not doing anything. Like,
What do you mean? They're doing their job still, no?
Yes, they are, but not really. It doesn't take 3 people to check somebody out. It takes 2 people if one person's bad.
Is no one waiting?
No. Well, no, yeah, there was lines all over the place, but there were 3 people there, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 of them that didn't need to be there. 2 of them were hanging out while somebody was checking us out. And I'm pretty sure we didn't, they weren't bagging for us or anything either. They were just, hanging out at the register. That was my problem with it. Because I'm like, share your story later. Your coworker is with a customer right now. There's a different time. Pick a different time to do that. As opposed to talking to a customer and then continuing the conversation with the customer for a minute after you basically finish checking out, and then moving on to the next one. That's it. But that was the last argument I got in. And it's still splitting hairs. I think if you break it down to its, I don't know. I guess my argument was I was not trying to talk about if it was shitty or not. I'm saying if out of the 2 scenarios, there's one that I prefer and there's one that I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm going to get ignored because it's going to happen, I'd rather them be talking to another customer and not a employee or not a coworker.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Because then if they're talking to a customer, to me, I'm like, oh, cool, they're being personable. And if they're talking to a coworker, I'm like, you guys are fucking around. I'm like, there's people here. Remember, we're people too. Not just the people that you work with and you see every day. Your customers are also human beings.
Yeah. I'm saying, do you want to be talked to while they're checking you out? Because were they checking you out while they're talking, or were they talking and not checking you out?
No, they were checking us out and talking.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. No, it's just again, my thing is the bare minimum of just being hello. Some form of acknowledgement was all I was looking for. Because that happens all the time at the grocery store or whatever, when somebody in front of you knows the cashier better than you do, let's say, right? So they're chatting it up or whatever. I feel like it's very unlikely that when I get there that they won't talk to me, even if they're just telling me the total for my order. And I can't even remember if they even told us our total. You know what I mean? That's how little interaction we had that day with these 3 cashiers, or 1 cashier and 2 other rando coworkers. Mm-hmm. It was I don't even think they told us the total. I think we just checked out and we left. So it was we weren't even there. And it's oh, this is why you guys are getting kicked out of these jobs, because it's a robot could have done what you just did. But I wouldn't have been offended by a robot. I don't know. Again, not a strong argument. But I think at the core of it, it was I wasn't feeling heard. I think that was all.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a little
heated.
yeah, definitely. I was a little, yeah, heated would be a good word. Because it wasn't angry. It was just kind of I'm just acknowledge that this is see things from my perspective real quick. I think that was
We were just saying it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You were saying that it wasn't.
Yeah. But again, like I'm over it. I'm just answering the question.
Yeah.
That was the last argument I had. Well, and it's much easier to talk about past arguments
Yeah.
after you're past them, but when you're in them too, it's less easy to do.
All right. I think that does it for that portion. This episode turned out pretty all right.
Yeah, it was a nice little
Experiment.
well, yeah, and like a nice kind of catch up and break from having other people. Although it does feel, I don't know, it feels lonely.
Does it?
It feels lonely with just the two of us. So I keep looking over at the couch and it's empty.
Oh, I mean, I never looked at it, I guess, because I was looking in your general direction, but yeah.
So, excellent quote, Joel.
That's all I find, apparently.
So what did you think about the quote?
I mean, you can measure a man by more than just what he does with power, but that's one way to measure him, for sure. It's kind of, I mean, by man, I would assume at this point it's a person.
Human.
Yeah, a human. So just their character, more or less, like, even if it's a character they may just portray, like let's say any kind of YouTube celebrity or streamer from Twitch, they sometimes just play a character.
Right.
And that's not how they really are. You can still, especially if the character itself is kind of something that isn't, it's a character to be hated, then you kind of already like, you jump into assumptions on why did he pick that character and what are they going for, what's the goal behind being hated or being controversial, let's say, and is it just to bring out engagement or what, right? You start kind of forming your own thoughts about that person, even though it's a character. You're like, okay, this person is choosing to do this character for what reasons? And sometimes it's positive. I would assume the positive ones are more toward, the ones I'm thinking of are more geared towards kids. Mm-hmm. They become energetic. They have an energetic character that I don't know if I'm going to use this word right, inquisitive, where they...
Yeah, it's like, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
asking questions. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And stuff like that. So even someone playing a character like that for kids so they can learn and at least learn to grow and learn some stuff is you think very positively of that person playing that character. Same thing with like actors as well. Like, and again, it's more towards the childhood portion of like Mr. Rogers, mm-hmm. where he plays a character that's very, again, just knowledgeable, brings subjects into light, and makes you hopefully turn out to be that way. You learn something from him every now and again. So you think, as you grow up, you'll think very highly of him because he taught you things. So yeah, just actors or even people you meet very quickly, like just people you're walking by. Sometimes it's the whole how they present themselves kind of thing. where it's why people will often say your first impression is probably the biggest impression, because that's the only time they may see you. And that's what I get from it, I guess.
Okay.
What about you, Sam?
I think this quote speaks a lot to like bringing out, like power can bring out the best in people and the worst in people, depending on who they are. And I think like giving somebody power will show you who they really are, like at their core. And I think that comes with, let's say, like a high position in a company, or it doesn't even necessarily need to be a high position, but like high salaries and stuff like that too. Like anything that makes somebody feel more powerful, somebody with a gun when you don't have a gun, things like that. Anything to make somebody feel, I guess, or anything to make somebody feel like they could be superior to other people, I think really shows who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, unfortunately, power corrupts people, I think, really quickly. And I feel like that's usually the easiest thing for a lot of people is, oh, I had nothing and now I have everything. So now I'm going to be an asshole because I've been good this whole time and whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that there's lots of people out there who have immense power who aren't. So there's, I don't know. You are who you are. It actually, you know what? It reminds me of, because I just watched the Avengers yesterday, the first one.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was thinking about Captain America's backstory as well. Because, okay, so two things. I watched The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen over 3 nights.
Okay.
Because first night, we fell asleep. Second night, we fell asleep. Third night, we watched it early enough to where we could finish like the last half hour.
And then fell asleep.
Yeah. Well, no, and then we watched the Avengers after. So because League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is very like Avengers-esque.
Yeah.
So, and even the plot, some of the plot lines at the beginning and stuff, I was like, I'm like, isn't there a Marvel movie just like this? So we put on the Avengers afterwards because I was like, oh, let's do team up comparison or just team up movie night, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But thinking about Captain America's origin story where he's like this scrawny little kid, right? And then he's given the super soldier serum, and then he grows into who Captain America is, right? And he's all buff and stuff, and you can run fast and do all these things, right? But he's still a good person. Now, same serum given to the character of Red Skull turned him into Red Skull. It takes like the best parts of you and puts those out on display. So if you're rotten in the center and you get extreme amounts of power, everyone's just going to see how rotten you are because you're not going to be able to hide it. And I think if you're inherently good on the inside and you come into power or wealth or whatever, then that's what should also come out. Should. But again, I think unfortunately power has the power of corruption. Unfortunately. So that's
power well, I wouldn't even say amplifies, but it increases the odds of corruption.
Correct. Yeah. And I think especially in like this day and age, I'm sure I don't know, actually it's probably always a thing. There's always been military and governments and stuff.
Yeah.
Or some sort of hierarchy. So it's like if you're at a position of power, there's always going to be people who are bribing you for shit or whatever. I don't know.
Always.
Yeah. So,
as they say as I heard it in a very famous game. They may have said it way before the game came out. I'm pretty sure they're quoting someone where it says, "War never changes."
Is that Ron Perlman?
Sure.
Is that his name?
I don't know. I just heard the line.
Yeah, from Fallout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I want to end it on like a good note. But there's not one. Yeah, I don't know. Power can be a good thing if wielded properly and responsibly.
Who do you think did it?
Did what?
Who do you think wielded it properly?
Oh. It's hard to tell anymore. I feel like there's so much information out in the world now and misinformation on top of that.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, well, Bill Gates has always been good, I think, with his shit. But then there's like an entire cult of people who are very anti-Gates, right? Because they eat babies or something like that.
First I've heard, but go
Yeah.
on.
Well, no, but I feel like that's kind of like the price of fame nowadays is the more people know about you, like the more shit people say about you, whether it's
the
true
more they
or
want
not.
to dig up and hopefully find.
Or just tear you down in general, yeah. But I think Bill Gates has done a good job of, again, I don't know everything about Bill Gates and his family and his charities and stuff, but for somebody who has for somebody who is like one of the richest people on the planet, like I feel like he's been doing a pretty good job with his power. But again, I don't know him and I don't know everything about him.
Right.
So I'm just speaking from...
We're not saying you're correct or incorrect.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know who you think.
Yeah, I'm just doubling down on... I don't need anybody coming after me, so... What about you? So I feel like it's easy to find somebody who's got a bad example.
Oh, yeah, because guess what the easiest way out is?
Yeah.
Doing something bad.
Well, that's why I play video games like that. It's the funnest way to do it, but I won't do it in real life because I care about people.
I don't know. I would say... Linkin Park. As a whole. Because they actually... Well, there's probably other bands that have done it, but coming to mind, Linkin Park has done humanitarian work with, especially during like the Haiti incident, like their quake that they had around like probably 2010, 2011, somewhere.
So we're talking about Chester era of Linkin Park, or
yes.
are we talking about modern day?
We're talking about Chester.
Okay. Because
have they changed at all? Because
I don't know if they've been doing anything like that lately.
Well, they put up a recycling center, so they still probably
they're still involved with.
They're still involved with stuff, but they, as far as I know, they have a recycling center out there in Haiti that helped them essentially clean up the area, and it was all done after the quake.
Gotcha.
They either own it or they helped like construct. They did a good amount like of donation maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, that's one of the good things I know they did. They've done multiple stuff with other organizations as well. Military wise, they've put out a song, Castle of Glass, that was technically part of like I believe it was for Medal of Honor. But it also coincided with like messaging about like how war kind of, when you lose someone kind of thing during that time. So they do a lot of good stuff with their music.
Yeah, wielding power for good and trying to help other people in general.
Yeah.
Spreading positive messages and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. Yay.
Positive note achieved. And
Bye.
switch these things.